Thank you so much, Terry. Can you hear me now? I appreciate that. I had these settings muted from yesterday when I had my call about the gas tank, so sorry to cut it short yesterday. But we will be moving forward with that. Thank you for that. I always love it when I have an error and somebody catches it and I can fix it like that. Okay. So I was trying to say today's been a crazy day in the markets, and we have Trump that has been saying that he wants to increase his stimulus bill to try to go ahead and pass it through. He's willing to go above the 1.8 trillion and increase it. So we shall see. I was also on the roundtable yesterday with Ticker Talker. It's on their website, or on their website and on their YouTube channel. And I was there with Alan Rohrbach, and he's been trading for over 35 years, is now a macro analyst. And his viewpoint was that, hey, if we have a Democratic win to this election, that we will likely see a $4 to $5 trillion bill being passed for stimulus to help stimulate this economy. Also, if you all do not know, I also teach at the Training Pit on Mondays and Thursdays. And today I actually was just teaching all about FOMC, the Fed, how they regulate the US monetary policy. So come on over and join us at the darkpools.com. And if you'd like to learn more about the dark pools, about trading, being the best trader that you can be. Yeah, Kyle, for sure. We'll chart crowd and AMD. All right, let's go ahead and pull up the charts. Is everybody having problems hearing, or just the shovel? Let me put that in here. John, that's right. Okay, awesome. Thanks. All right, so we have the SPY right here, and let me just remove the background here so we'll see more of the charts. We have the SPY here, and we are looking at it. We've come down below outside of this channel, right? However, we came to a level, hold on. So we came to a support and resistance level over here, right? It was a resistance that now has flipped to become a support. So watching that, are we going to be able to go ahead and take out the highs, right? Are we going to be able to move up above over here or not? We've had let me put it on the side by side as well for you guys. All right, so we've got our 15-minute over here on the left and our daily on the right. Let's hide this. And for those that do not know, I do create my watch list every morning live on Ticker Talker as well. NIO on down to XOM was my list. Oh, I'm good, thank you, Asif. And guys, I gotta tell you, I have an upgrade coming to my website. I was gonna reveal it today, but it's not quite ready. So we might be revealing it this weekend or maybe next week. So I will let you all know. And I did get some testimonials from some people. So I highly thank you guys for those people that did give me the testimonials. Asif was one of them, and how I really impacted and helped his life and his trading journey. And that's my goal. That's my goal in sharing, is to really help everybody, as I was a lost sheep in the market at one point with day trading. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why I try to help people. All right, so look at how the SPY broke down here off of the 425 on the 15-minute chart. And now it came up and it tested it again, and we rejected it. So looking at that, in moving forward on our daily chart, I would like to see it break above 346. Now, maybe we're going to come back up here. Maybe we're going to come back up to 347. Nice, Asif. Yeah, SPI had a nice run this morning. NIO was a beast, but let's look at the SPY. So the SPY has pulled back a little bit. We also have the Qs that have pulled back a little bit. You know, everyone says, oh, it's the uncertainty in the markets right now. And it's not really the uncertainty. It's really, to me, it's the big guys controlling the market. Where are they laying their prints? What's going on? On the Qs today, we have had a pullback to the 8 EMA, the bottom of the channel right here. Also, let's look at Apple, because Apple and Microsoft really influence both the SPY and the Qs. What happened on Apple? Well, we came down to the bottom of the channel as well, came just below it actually. Let's look at our 24-hour chart here. So we came back almost to the 50 simple moving average, and then we bounced up from there. We closed the gap, and we're still riding the moving averages down for the longer time frame moving averages. Oh, who just sold it? Looks like someone just sold it while I'm sitting here talking. And maybe it will be a scenario where it's gonna do this, right? It tested here, tested the 425, broke through it, high volume, came up here, test, and maybe we're going to have a little wedge, and then finally we'll have a direction. It will break up or it will break down. Remember, we do have earnings coming up on the 29th of October. So we are the 15th today. That is in 2 weeks. So potentially they are going to move it in relation to earnings, right? Maybe they're going to have that earnings announcement be better than expected or worse than expected. Somebody always knows what's going to happen. So we did see some dark pool activity. For now, all of that dark pool activity that we saw from the past back over here on the 6th or 9th, let's see. It was on the daily chart where we had the doji day that had really big volume. This day, right here. So we have bounced off of that volume right there. We went below, we have the upside down head and shoulders, we've bounced off of that volume, and looking as if we are just testing the lower bound of this upward channel. Yes, we were overextended 4 days ago. Is it any wonder that the market and everything pulled back? No. Totally healthy in this upward channel to have that 3-day pullback, resurgence, potential buying power, and we will potentially continue up. We might see a pull all the way back to the 50 simple moving average here. On the 24-hour chart, we almost hit it today. On the daily, we are still a little bit far away. We would need it to come down to 18.15. We might see it pull back to the 20 SMA as well. However, look, we had the 20 SMA cross down on Apple, and now it's curling right back up. It acted as a support, and now we're heading back up. So maybe it will come back down, and they'll bounce it off of the 20 and then take it up even further. I wouldn't be surprised to see that happen. As well, let's check Microsoft. All right, so Microsoft, I drew this from the channel, the daily channel on the 22nd, which was still the same day that was really big on Apple and the SPY and the Qs, and we're still riding that channel. We were overextended. Again, we were outside of the bounds. We almost tested this trend line here, pulled back. We're bouncing off of another trend line, and it's a bit of a doji day right here. We have the earnings coming up on the 27th. So that week of the last week of October is going to be a big week for the tech stocks, Apple, Amazon. Remember, if you all go to earningswhispers.com, you'll be able to find it right there. And let's look at as well Amazon, right? Because there's a trend that we tend to see happen with Amazon. And I'm going to go back here and go to, we want to go to July of 2019. And I've noticed this, I noticed it last July, and I want to bring it to the 9th right here, and we're on a daily chart over there. Okay, 24-hour chart over here. So here we are, right? Look at the similarity, right? We have this movement right here. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to measure instead of zoom in. Oh, goodness. Sorry, guys. Let me go back to it. Easy enough. At least it's easy to get back to that date. Yeah, super easy right there. All right, so measure. measure, Jane. So here we have this move where we moved up, nice 5% right there. And what do we see running up into Amazon Prime Day? A nice move, 32. This one was actually 9%, so double the move. However, a very similar pattern. It pulled back roughly to our 15 EMA on a daily chart, and then it surged higher. This tends to be a pattern now with the Prime Day. It will run up right into Prime Day, and then there's big price action and it drops down. You see right here, and then look at what happens. We have earnings a couple days later, and it pulls back. It pulled all the way back down to 718. So let's, for fun, where do we go from here? It went down 15%. All right, just on average. Let's check this out. It happens to be right before earnings, right, that we had Prime Day. And if we want to go down 15%, we're looking at 29.57 over here. Maybe we'll be a little bit more conservative. Maybe it'll come back here. But if we pull all the way back down to that 200 simple moving average, back down here, in my opinion, I don't think it's ready just yet to have that much of a downturn. Maybe we'll come and test this level right here of 2,900. But looks as if we have a bit of a double top set up. It's pulling back, maybe down to 2,900. And then on the bigger time frame over here, that if this 2,900 level has acted as a support in the past, right? So if we are testing that upper bound, maybe it will come back down. Maybe we're gonna see 29.18 right here. Maybe it will pull all the way back to 29.18. Hey, nice little entry to get in just after earnings. I wouldn't necessarily want to hold it into earnings because we might see that that will result in a big drop. Even though they're such an online retailer, there's got to be a reason why it's seeing such pullbacks, and we have seen a little bit of activity. Not a lot, but we are somewhat in a little downward channel here, right? So put it up there. We're in a little bit of a downward channel. Tested, down, lower high. Are we going to set a lower low coming down here? So there might be a potential for a lottery trade for a put going into 28.37 for Amazon. Like your risk management tool, I will use it in the future, but low stocks don't give me enough time. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, ASIF. All right. Oh, ASIF, market's not slow. What are you talking about? Lots of great opportunities. In fact, FSLY today. FSLY had discount. Hey, Julio. FSLY had a discount. You guys, I saw this and I thought, you know what? This is definitely oversold right at the moment for such a great move. We had this chart set up already. It's traded sideways in this range. It broke out. It surged higher. And then they had their guidance come back. And boom, it came right to this moving average. Full disclaimer, did buy some this morning, all the way down at 87. So still nice $4 move and potential move to the upside. Let's move it forward over here. GameStop, I don't think GameStop's that low of a float right now. So on our 24-hour chart, we are just above the 50 simple moving average right here. Is that going to hold? Not sure. Let's make this our 15-minute chart on the left, or even better, 45-minute chart. And looking for it to come back up and test up here at 104. It hit the 20 simple moving average, stalled here a little bit, and potential move to the upside. But right off of my list, hey, if it broke that $90 mark, then nice move. Now, the next resistance level I would look for is right here at 94.40. So I'm going to set an alert. Hey, 94.40. That's another potential area for potential long move if it can break above that. If it will drop below, we will see from there. All right. So we had NIO. NIO was quite a beast today. Now let me pull this up. All right, so we've got NIO, had it down here. Hey, if we can break above 27.60, there's a nice potential move here. Sure enough, look at that, nice run up to 29 today. Bearish drop down, it did not retrace and drop down lower. Also, SPI, the beast mode, right? Came up, it's hitting that 425, hit it again today, and it pulled back. Nice job, Asif. I don't know where you got in and out. Let me add these on, guys, because you guys have been putting them in, and I didn't add them. So let me do it now. Crowd, AMD, AAL, ISRG, STAF as well, GME, EAT, and WWR. Whoops. All right. Also, Sunworks. This is also another low float. It's just going sideways right now. It's not really, I mean, it had a nice intraday move from 340 down to 312. It is lower float with roughly 10 million in the float and could run up a bit from here. We also have FE. This one had a big wick down here and had big pre-market volume, but it needs to really break 3140 right here, and then potentially on up a move up to 32. If it could really break 32, might be very nice from there. We already went over Apple. I had that as my potential long today, and it did have a nice long move off of 119.50 and moved up to 120.65. Plug as well was on my short list for today. Pulling back, came down. We hit our 425 on that 45-minute chart. Look at how it bounced right off of there and moved up. Might have a bigger move to the upside here. Looks like we have a bit of a descending trend line right here. So we'd like to see that break out and really break above 1740 on today's chart right now in this current time frame, but maybe it'll come down a little bit and maybe it'll be roughly 1720 when it does make that break. That you can see this actually acted as a support, and then once it broke below, it acted as a resistance. So we would need to see it break above that trend line for potential move bigger. BABA had it on my short list today, and it filled the gap to the upside. That is why I will create the trade setups for one direction or the other. I don't know where the market's going to take it. And another one that hit the 425 EMA today on the 45-minute chart. Try it, guys. It's not going to cost you anything, right? Just 425 on the 45-minute chart. And when it hits it and it bounces, can likely be a nice move off of there. Look at that. It was at 291 roughly, and now it's at 297. Okay, Workhorse was another one for potential short today, just breaking that level. However, it's got a small little move to the 50 simple moving average over here. On the 45-minute chart, you can see that this area acted as resistance. Maybe it's going to come back down to 2030. The biggest volume was definitely over here. Julio, no, I didn't. I will go, actually, I've got it, whoops, that's not what I meant to do. I thought I had my live vol open, which I will look over here and check it out. I need to do a video of live vol for you guys as well. Try to get the head of that on over at Chicago Board of Exchange, how they are based in Chicago, and they're great guys. Also, Exxon Mobil was on the short list today, and it bounced. So today we also had the oil numbers come out. They're delayed one day because of the Columbus Day holiday. Let's go into Crowd for Kyle. All right, so here we have Crowd, had a big run up. Look at how it pretty much used that as a support area right off of the 425. And let's pull this down here. So looking at it on the daily chart, it's not looking that strong, simply on the fact it's still in an upward trend. Whoops, make this 45 minute. It's still in an upward trend over here. I have no idea what this is. Oh, I'll hide that. So it's still in an upward trend. It's still bouncing, and every time you see as it's hit the 21 EMA, it has bounced off of there, which is roughly the 425 on the 45-minute. Now, the thing that's weary about this, we haven't seen that it's had really that crossover to the downside for potential shorts, and we're getting close to it today. So where this one closes could be a big sign. We're also hitting a point. You see how this used to be a resistance and it then flipped to be support, and now it's back to resistance again. So we want to see that it will break and close above. I would really like to see as a potential long that it would close above 144. Otherwise, I have a feeling that this might continue to the downside. We have the volume decreasing. The largest price was on this day candlestick where it was up above. And if it closes down below 139, watch out. There is a big move down to the downside to 127 here if it does break down lower. All right, AMD. So AMD on the daily chart is having a doji day right now. Just created a crossover here. It's testing that 425. If we draw a trend line here, it would need to really break above and close above $84 for me to feel more comfortable in the upward move to come. It doesn't mean that it's not going to continue to the upside. However, when we look back at AMD, here we have a downward turn, bounce up, down, and then it had a mini pullback here, but look at where it pulled back, this purple moving average. That means it might potentially pull all the way back down to roughly $67 from up here. That would be a $15 move to the downside, or roughly 20%. That could be a little painful. So I would be more cautious to wait if looking to enter for a swing trade to see that this is going to close up above 84. All right, AAL. All right. I'm checking on those prints that you were talking about. I don't see anything too crazy yesterday. We've had some more today, but they're smaller lots. So, and are you talking about VIX or VXX, Julio? All right, so American, no approval of the stimulus just for airlines. Do you guys see this? How, maybe I can draw this block. Let's draw this block here for an area that has acted as support and resistance. So we have one block right here, right, where they're just sort of taking it sideways there. And then we have another one almost right here up above it. So this looks like a different one. I'm going to change the color here, make this blue. So we have this one that it's just was bouncing around right here. Then one that came up, it was hitting up here at roughly 1420, and then it pulled back. Now we're heading back down. We're going to test down here, and there's another area right here, $11. So it's just been sort of like ping-ponging around for American Airlines, and it's not really going anywhere quickly. Now, the one thing I have to say about American Airlines is it is the largest airline around the world. Will we see the US president allow the largest airline in the world to go bankrupt? This has also got the name American on it, so I don't know about that. It did go down in the past. It did file for bankruptcy in the past. However, not sure that they would let the largest airline in the world go under. Just a thought. So maybe they're positioning for a bigger move there. All right. ISRG looks, a lot of them seem like they're having this little sort of top to them. It did come back and hit the moving average on the daily. We also have a bit of a double top. We have a downward trend, right? It would need to break up over here of 753 for ISRG. Because right now we have a resistance that's set up, right? We have a nice V, whoop, resistance. Is it going to break out? Had earnings, rejected on earnings, and now it's almost filled the gap to the downside here of 738. Might move higher. Would also like to see it close above. I'd like to see it close above over here, where we had some more bigger volume. So 759, 760 really to be comfortable for this one to the upside. All right, staff. So ASIF rocked this one. Staff pulled back today. I didn't have this on my list, I don't think, but apparently these old levels that I put on, that's pretty crazy, right? Seeing old levels from back in the past. Look at that. These are from back in January of 2019 on this chart. And look at how it hit it to a T. I didn't draw that line today. Isn't that crazy? To see that? It hit it. 333.52, it went to 354. And this was a resistance, and then as soon as it broke below, boom, down it came. It's awesome when these levels repeat themselves time and time again. All right, GME, GameStop. So GameStop, hey, coincidence, look at that. Have a trend line that I drew, and where are we testing right now? Is it going to continue to the upside? It's so cool how the computers see all of these trend lines as well. And now, hey, that might be a nice place to take profit, 75%, let the other 25% or quarter do its work if you are in on this. And look at how there was a prior resistance level. Once it found that as support, bounced off of it and ran up. That's so cool. I love seeing that stuff. I'm just a chart fan. Passionate about charts. All right, let's go to EAT over here. Let's put this on the daily. All right, so we have a cup and handle, it looks like, over here. Let's look at it on the bigger time frame here on the daily. Yeah, look at how it has had resistance up here. It sort of went sideways. The resistance was lower, roughly right here, 47.20, and that's the bottom of the candle today. And it acted as resistance in the past too. We're finally breaking out. The volume isn't as high. We have earnings coming up, right, on the 28th of October. Looking at earnings, we have had a high of 50.46. That was today. Likely some shorts from the day prior over here at 49.60 that got squeezed. And it does have some nice buying power to it, right? Moving up. However, this might be where we find this is a distribution area, right? This might be an area of distribution, and it might end up that coming after earnings, we see a pullback, and we see a pullback back down to the 200 simple moving average of 30.76. What's the estimated earnings on this? Negative 18 cents. Likely not that big, but restaurants might be taking a beating. So definitely was affected back here and came well below the 200 simple moving average. What else? I'm going to do this as an all and see how far back we can look. All right, so if we look back at 2008, I would almost be inclined to be more short biased on this. It went from 35 to 3, right? And what happened in the, oh, I don't have the earnings seasons there. 1 month, it doesn't have the earnings. How about if I do weekly? Still doesn't have earnings on it. But looking at that and looking at the past, people are going to go out to spend more money when they have extra reserves, right? So how are their sales going to be higher if people are struggling with money right now, right? If we look at it more on the longer time frame, I'm seeing on the weekly chart, I'm almost biased to be short on this. We have a bit of a head and shoulders. Yep, it came down. We found support back here at a former level, right? And when it broke, we go move forward. We have this on the weekly chart. We just broke above it, right, on the weekly chart. So if we come back down and we close below $46, yeah, of course, it's been bullish on the reversal. And I'm usually a bullish person, but looking at how even on the weekly chart, it's overextended right here with the stochastics. Earnings is coming up. The Restaurant Association in the States has been really hard hit. I don't know, what does Brinker have in it? Let's see. Brinker International. You made me really curious. Glad you're here. World's leading casual dining, Chili's, Maggiano's. Now here's something to remember. What just filed for bankruptcy, right? Ruby Tuesday, right? Just filed for bankruptcy. Isn't that somewhat in the same genre? So keeping all of that in mind, I don't know about you guys in the States, we're not really allowed to eat out in restaurants now. But we're a whole different ball of wax up here in Canada. They're trying to really shut things down. And that might be affecting the restaurants as well. Maybe they're going to say, and look at this. This is also something else that's interesting, right? This can also signify that you're going to have a reversal. That we see that the volume is decreasing as the price is going up. Whoops, hold on. Let's get rid of that. Right? The volume is decreasing here as the price is going up. Many times when you see the volume decrease at a level, it will be less people are trying to buy it there. So looking at that, yes, it was bullish here, for sure. It went from 7 to 48. Not feeling so bullish on it right now, in my personal opinion. I feel like this is going to pull back at earnings. I'm not willing to bet my house on it, you know, but maybe a lottery put over the next, look, it took 4 to 7 in 6 weeks. So maybe you buy a lottery put 6 weeks out and we'll go down 50% from here, or 20% from here. What's this overall move? I'll take it from right here. What's the move from right here? $26. So down $13. Maybe you buy a put $35 6 weeks out. Just a thought. I'm going to paper trade that one and we'll see. Just 35 6 weeks from October 15th. Eat. Okay. Also, WWR, we're on the weekly chart. Let's go to the daily and let's bring it back. So WWR, not looking all that healthy, right? It came up, had a surge up, and we have a bit of a flag. I would like to see it break above at least $7 right there. You can see how it's been consolidating and trading sideways there. It was a resistance, support, resistance. Can it break it? And if we go on the shorter time frame, longer time frame here, we are above this, but there wasn't crazy high volume. And it has hit the 425 on the 45-minute chart, which would be a good potential indication to get in for it to break out. But I'd like that confirmation of getting above 7 with the volume right there. And let's see if, for fun, we've had any big eat dark pool recently. Looking for fun, just to see, Julia. 75,000 at 47.86. That was on the 9th. Right here. 47.86, right there. So I'd watch that area. See if we go below 47.86 right here, where we had that selling candle pulled back, but we didn't seem to have that big buying here, right? Just a thought on it. All right, and WWR. All right, so BB, Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, let's look at Bed Bath. Oops, forgot an extra B. Bed Bath & Beyond right here. Looks like it's taking over from yesterday. Nice, and we had big volume yesterday. That is nice as well. It is a little bit overextended on the stochastics. Let's pull it back. When is our earnings? Oh, we have plenty of time for earnings. On the 13th of January. So they haven't, oh wait, no, it just had earnings. I need to eat lunch, guys. I need to go and have me some Maggiano's. No, I need some food. All right, let's look at BBBY. Anything big lately? Let's check. 2374, big, not that big to put a little print there. More yesterday. So let's do this. Wow, 2394. Hey, as long as you can hold above 2394, I like this one to the long side, in my opinion. All right, that's going to be it for today, guys. I got to go have some lunch, feed my belly, and eat. Have an amazing afternoon. I will see you all tomorrow at 12:15. Check out my roundtable over on Ticker Talker on their channel as well, on their YouTube channel. And I will see you all tomorrow. Carpe Profit, seize those profits, one trade at a time.